Welcome back, everyone. When I met my guest today, I'm reminded of a quote, a lot of variations on this quote, but I think I'm fairly close to it. It says, "Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it." My guest, Tony Garcia, is a public information officer for American Legion, Glens Falls Post 233. Welcome, Tony.
Thank you to be here.
Yeah, real nice to have you here, and very much enjoyed our conversation we just had in my office. Tony's been involved with this particular post for about 4 years when you moved here, right,
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
As a public information officer, what do you do?
We keep the public informed.
There you go. That's what I
Translated
thought.
public relations.
Yes. They do a number of things in our community in Glens Falls, but there's a speaker series that we heard about, and that's the reason that I invited Tony in to talk about this speaker series, and we'll give you the details in a minute. But what prompted you and the other members of the Legion there to start this speaker series?
Well, it was the fact that there were no civic organizations which were open to the public on important topics, things that you need to know that are going on in the community or in the past that are of importance. So we said, let's change it. We, a group of, on the committee of about 5 of us. And that was done by the Legion, but also conducted, we said, we agreed to by the Sons of the American Legion, which we also have as part of our post. And so we decided on this back in the fall and scheduled 3 we just finished one in January. The next one is March 1st. And the last will be April the 5th. April the 5th. All different speakers, but very interesting, with strong, powerful messages.
Oh, yeah, boy, you're telling me. Hey, we did miss the first one, but tell us what it was about.
Well, in every county in the United States, within the states, you have a director of emergency services who coordinates between the fire, the police, and the other, even the National Guard, activities for serious disaster, and they teach the importance of it and what to do and how to react, and a lot of people think it's just go run in your house and lock your door, and it's not just about that. So he delivered, Brian LaFleur is his name, and he gave a great speaker session there. It was dessert and coffee and about 30 minutes of talk and with question and answers following. It was great.
You know what, he's been a guest here a few
Has
times
he?
too.
Oh, good.
Sure. Yeah, without we know him. The one that's coming up in March, on March the 3rd, did you say March the 1st?
March 1st, yeah, it's a Wednesday.
A Wednesday night, March 1st.
Yep.
And I really encourage people to attend this. When Tony and I were talking about it, it's the reason I opened with that quote, is that you're featuring 3 women who lived during World War II under the Nazi regime.
Absolutely.
Holy mackerel. So tell us a bit about this.
Well, there are 3 local ladies. There are probably more, but one is from France, northeastern France. The other is from central west Germany, was from there. And the last was from Latvia, and she's going to speak on her own. The American Legion, as you know, is very active with schools and the community on programs, this again being open to the public. We thought it would be nice if we got 3 young girls from Glens Falls High School. We actually now have 6 that are stepping forward, are so excited about doing this, that can speak without breaking down emotionally about the facts of just what occurred from one day of just living free and enjoying liberty the way it was back before the Nazis took over, and what happened the next day. And it's gravitating.
It is. You know what? And we're talking literally here. Lafayette, in particular, if you know a bit about history, they one day everything was just normal for them. The next day, the Nazis just rolled in. You said something before this interview that really stuck in my mind. It stayed in this girl's mind. She must have been 7 or 10 years old at the time. That one day there was a crucifix on the wall in her classroom, and the next day there was a swastika.
Exactly.
Whoa, again, history.
Yes.
Right? So what role are the girls in high school playing?
Well, they're going to speak because two of these ladies, the one from France and the one from Germany, their English is not the very best, but they would break down emotionally telling the story.
That's right.
So the school stepped up to the plate, and it was wonderful. The lady who runs our oratorical contest every year for the American Legion in Glens Falls said the government teachers, those teachers who teach the students government, get credit for this, and do you think you could use some of them to speak? I said, absolutely, this is what it's all about.
Yes, of course.
And this is a group thing, and we all learn from the benefit of it, and let them step forward. So we're going to have two girls speak for each of those, and another one doing other things at this speakers program, who get also school credit for it, but they want to do it. And what's nice is that while these stories are not all that pleasant to hear, they think it's very important to their future to recognize by history what can happen. And we thought that was commendable. Our committee decided, let's do it, and so we're on with it.
Good. That's Wednesday, March 1st. The doors open at 6 p.m. It's at the Salvation Army building. That's on Broad Street in Glens Falls, right?
Yes.
Okay, you can't miss it. Those of you who live in Glens Falls remember St. Alphonse? It's the school, right?
It's the school.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so it
holds a lot of people.
Yeah, it does. So the gymnasium there, or the auditorium, whatever it is, but they can hold hundreds of people. And let's face it, we're in very trying times right now. There's a lot of questions out there. I mean, bring your family. Here's an opportunity to actually meet someone who lived through the experience of World War II. Look at the integration in the community of bringing in high school students who learn from them, and the whole sense of giving everybody the opportunity to learn. I do want to mention briefly the one on April the 5th.
Yes, sir.
Is that also a Wednesday?
It is a Wednesday night,
okay,
6
all right.
o'clock. Yeah.
So the next month on April the 5th, and the Sheriff of Warren County, Sean, right?
Sean
is going to come in and give a talk.
He is. He's going to speak about what's going on in the community, both good and bad, their problems of the sheriffs, not just sheriffs, but law enforcement in general, and what we can do to help. And they'll touch on all crimes, including the biggest one that's going on right now.
It's got to be opioid.
It's opioids, and
yes.
It's rampant.
Again, a wonderful opportunity to learn more about it, hear directly from the Sheriff's Department about what you can do. Let's face it, I do a lot of interviews on this topic, and the one thing that you always walk away with is you think to yourself, you see something, you do something. If you see a behavior in your child or someone in the community that doesn't seem right, find out more about it, because we're in a situation where we actually have an opioid and heroin epidemic right in our backyards, and we need to know more about it. Well, Tony, it's a real pleasure to meet you, have you come in. Moving forward, they do an annual awards ceremony. We're going to have you in for that. And also first time in Glens Falls, Flag Day celebration in June. So we'll have you back for that also.
Great.
Real pleasure to meet you. And don't forget, March 1st, Wednesday, 6 p.m. at the Salvation Army headquarters, Broad Street in Glens Falls. Great, Tony. Thanks.
Thanks for letting me in.
You're quite welcome. To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.